All right, thank you guys very much for joining me on this Mother's Day Sunday, talking about Darlington. What's going on, Mighty Saint? Thank you very much. What's going on, Wes? Happy to have you here. Mayo, happy to have you here on this beautiful Sunday, talking some NASCAR DFS for in my opinion, a pretty fun slate. Now, I am playing DraftKings Day. Ooh, what the heck? I need a mute. There you go. What is that going here? Oh, it's Twitter. I was like, why am I going here? This is a very fun slate. I think there's a lot of viable people here. I think there's some plays that's going to be forced to us. But let's just kind of go through and talk. Let's talk value range real fast, because I think that is probably the most important factor here when we are laying out who we can play. What's going on, Mauricio? You're doing pretty decent yesterday in some of those contests. When we look at the value range today, and I am distinguishing this between $5,900 and min salary, which also sucks that min salary this week is $49. It makes it very difficult for Poole to work out. Makes it really difficult for Ty Dillon to work out. It really is, if you are punting at the bottom, it's BJ McLeod or you don't punt at all. Just leaving that out there. That's really the only play that we have there. Harrison Burton, in my opinion, starts too far up to be viable here. And I'll look at chat in a moment. I want to get through this stuff real fast. Harrison Burton is, he starts 14th. When we look at how he's been running as of late, okay, and this is on top, and we'll talk. We'll talk practice speed here in a second. But look, last weekend finishes 30th. Dover finishes 20th. And this is where we're looking specifically at finishing order. Because, for the grand scheme of things, these races went pretty great. And okay, this got kind of crazy. We had that late race restart and stuff. But for the most part, Harrison Burton has not been a top 15 contender. That's just what we're looking at. When we look at his practice laps, which, let's go ahead and do that here. I need to reopen my sheet on this side so I don't have to keep looking around. Let's go ahead and put this up on the screen. So here we are with practice laps, okay? And this is all, and let me put all these on the screen for you, then I'll start goofing around and jumping around. And the good thing is we have quite a lot of data here. And not just for practice and stuff, but as I said, I like to look specifically at Dover and Kansas specifically for these tracks. And you can even look at the opening race at Fontana. Now, this is just where we're at. When we look at runs specifically, like I have this currently sorted right now by 25 lap runs. If we do it by average rank, just so people can see, this is where we're at on average, but I don't believe you want to use the average rank. If you're looking at average runs at this point, I would honestly start looking at I would look at 25 lap ranks and just kind of not negate, but try and fill in where these guys would end up being here. Like, for example, William Byron's continuously being top 5 car regardless into this. He just ended up pitting to make an adjustment. We can very easily assume that he would probably maintain a ranking position anywhere between probably 3rd and 6th on this, and so on and so forth. But when we look at Harrison Burton here, yes, he's 12th fastest, but when we look at where he's at in terms of, short term, in terms of short term 5, 10, 15, 20 lap runs, okay, Harrison Burton starts 14th. Well, on the short run, he's pretty dog shit compared to where he's starting, okay? 21st fastest, 10 lap run, 22nd fastest. So that determines right there, first 10 laps. There's a good chance that, and this isn't just on every restart, but there's a good chance that we're not going to be able to find that speed for Harrison Burton. When we look specifically at these lap times at the line, or these speeds at the line, and we look at Harrison Burton here, look, 163, 164. This is the clearly, yes, and, this is off the trailer and stuff, but 163, 162, 160. He hits 160 really, really fast. We're already at 159 pretty fast. For the majority of fast cars, And I know my head's kind of in the way, so we'll move this over just a little. We'll get off averages, just like it laps. We can see that Harrison Burton's already hitting the 150s pretty fast, and everybody else is pretty much staying either in mid 160s of people starting ahead of him, or people that are just going to be faster. And even back here, the people he's going to be racing against, there's quite a lot of people who are either slightly faster than him or right with him. And so Harrison Burton starting 14th is a bit concerning, specifically when we start getting through here. Like late in his run, he's at 155, 157, 157, 158. Yes, that's, he's slightly faster than some of these guys on a long run, like, Blaney or Ty Dillon, but like, of course he is. But for the grand scheme of things, I just don't see Harrison Burton having that track speed and the, not just this, but looking at the last two races, Kansas and Dover, use those. I just don't see it from Harrison Burton. And so when we're looking at this value range, we are eliminating, in my opinion, where I'm at, we are getting rid of Brendan Poole, Ty Dillon, Harrison Burton. Okay, and then at this point, let's talk about Ryan Newman. I don't see it. My guy, happy to have you back, although, man, kind of be cool if you replaced Earnhardt as the last fatality in NASCAR. But look, it's Newman in this Rick Ware car. A fantastic qualifier, but look, this car just don't have speed, my guy. That's just how it is. So we're not using Ryan Newman. Noah Gragson. We mentioned in the video that he came out with a ton of speed at Kansas last weekend, pretty much out of nowhere. There was really no real insight. There's no real pinpoint that was able to show the speed that he would end up having in that race. Now, great, yes, he finishes 29th, because he runs into damage and stuff. But Gragson was running pretty decently in that race. He was able to maintain a running position and wasn't necessarily destroying you or anything like that. However, $5,700 is difficult. But we're pretty much pinpointed to going to Gragson, Gillen, and LaJoie. Now, when we look at Noah Gragson here, just based on practice speed, which is this is the concerning part. Like, man, dude, we're not even seeing high 160s. We are at 150, 160s. Pretty much right off the bat. Compared to everybody else, that's concerning. Of course, he's probably ended up running, anywhere from, 20, anywhere from probably like 24th, 29th all day. That's just what we're running into. Okay, Todd Gillen. And yes, I know this might seem like I'm going through a lot, but I'm doing this to explain a point here. When we look at Gillen and his speeds here, sure, his average speed is slow, but that's because he ran so long. When we look, like, he's actually playing for a long run. He's actually playing to be here. Pretty decent speeds, honestly. Not shitty. We're seeing high 160s, and he's not hitting the 150 mark until, 10 laps in. We can't say that for, everybody. There's people who are hitting 150 way earlier. There's people who are hitting 150, a few laps later. But look, Gillen has pretty decent speed. We're seeing that right off the bat. When we look at how he's been running as of late, pretty decent speed, even when we just look at the finishing order, 25th and 24th, not killing you, not destroying you, especially in a race where we might just actually need to go to Gillen to just round out a lineup of some sort. When we look at runs, we see Gillen actually, as I said, maintain a pretty decent running position. 11th fastest in the 5 lap, 9th fastest 10 lap, 16th fastest 15 lap, and that's with nearly 30 guys taking a time. That's good to see. That's encouraging. Like, Gillen can actually have speed in this race. Okay, and he starts 24th. And then we get to, theoretically, what we're viewing, what we have to look at. Okay, this is not me being like, oh, well, let's pay up for place differential point. We got to chase the place differential. I hate that mentality. Okay, but that mentality is going to lead us, going to lead a lot of people to the same driver. Okay, who has had a amazing car this year? Legit. Who has had a really good car? Who has been nearly a top 20 driver in every single race? Going back to Las Vegas, going back to Auto Club, okay? Just as of late, recently, at Dover. Who finished 14th at Dover? Like, outrunning real cars in the top 20, okay? Who was running top 20 last weekend at Kansas? Like, who has pace, who has speed? Okay, who here is running decent lap times, really good lap times here? Okay, decent speed. Like, are you kidding me? High 160s. decent speed. Not bad at all. Okay, we look at runs. Let's see where he's at. Okay, didn't run a huge amount, but look, 10th best 5-lap, which not really important. But look, 20th fastest 10. That's nearly the entire field. Nearly ran 10 laps. Okay, 18th fastest 15-lap. 18th fastest 20-lap. Okay, why is he starting back? It's because he got in the wall in qualifying. Had to get out of it. Starting last, practically. Okay, so we have LaJoie, who is percentage-wise, we have Darlington, a race that can have a lot of wrecks. A lot of people get in trouble. A lot of situations come up and blah, 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 blah. But when you look at the starting grid, when you look at projections, when you look at where people are, specifically salary-wise and points per dollar, let's not even talk about that in general, okay? LaJoie is starting 32nd or 34th. He has started 24th, finished 20th, 29 points, okay? And I'm looking at this isn't just me jumping to it, I'm explaining why, and everybody knows, but for real, seriously. Dover starts 27th, finishes 14th, that's 45 points, okay? How many times has LaJoie not scored over 20 points this year? Very rarely has he done that, okay? And there are races this year to where he would start inside the top 15 and still score more than 20 points because he would finish inside the top 20. Okay? Every data point, every thing you would look at, sober, points to LaJoie being optimal today. Okay? Now it's Dover. At this point, if you don't play LaJoie, it's because you're building a lineup expecting him to be involved in a wreck, which I think... he of anybody at this track has a high chance of having that happen to him. He can get in the wall late. Whatever the case may be, cut a tire down. This track's going to be, it's going to be a survival race. But where I'm at, LaJoie is optimal. I find it very difficult to believe that LaJoie is not optimal. The only way he isn't is if he's involved in a wreck. That's what he is. Do with that as you will with your percentage. You find an amount of LaJoie that you're comfortable with. Okay? I'm probably entering this race because it's Dover, because you've been watching me go 100% on people and stuff. I'm probably going to cap drivers at 65, 70%. I got 14 lines on DraftKings. I'll do 9 or something on FanDuel today. But I'm going to probably have LaJoie in at least 8 or 9 of those. And if not more, I might just go even higher on LaJoie. Because he doesn't kill you. Start 32nd. If you nail your lap leaders and he still fucking finishes last, the lineup isn't completely dead. You're not going to win the GPP. But LaJoie is not going to cost you cashing. It's because you miss on other drivers. And honestly, with that argument, I find it very hard to fade LaJoie. But that's where I'm at with LaJoie. And why is that important here? Because we've identified one play. Specifically a play that's going to be very popular. That should be popular. I don't know why people wouldn't play LaJoie here. Easy to get in nearly any line. And so at this point on DraftKings, we're building with 5 drivers. That's just where we're at, okay? Let me check chat real fast. But I wanted to get through that kind of that kind of talk so we could at least discuss LaJoie really fast. Let's go through here. What's going on, everybody? I don't know why this is on FS1, dude. Makes no sense. Let's see. So close to the track, but oh man, yeah, you gotta just say you got COVID, man, and then you get 4 days off. What's going on, Eagles? Happy to have you here, Jake. Yeah, what's going on? Let's see. Chastain and Larson appear to be the fastest. Yeah, last year's race was, dude, that was a mess. That was unfortunate. We lost everybody who was fast. Larson blows the motor. That was a mess last year. Whatever. We need to not. Hopefully, we don't have that happen. Yeah. That was the month of May last year. Everybody who had a good car just ran into trouble at intermediates. The entire month of May. Dover, Darlington, Coca-Cola 600. It was a mess last year. What's going on? ACS, which pretty sure I did talk over my concerns with with your Gregson. Man, it is hard to not play LaJoie today. Let's see. But I'm sure everybody else does. So, like, Jake, can you explain that to me? Because I mentioned in the video on this weekend, I didn't understand why people played Gregson last week. I didn't see any data points. I didn't see anything to point to him. Now, yes, he had speed. He was working out and stuff. But I didn't understand why people were playing Gregson at all. Didn't get it. Same with this weekend. You know, like, you love Gregson as a paid out. Why? What are you seeing? Because I don't see anything. I don't see any reason to play Gregson today. Yeah, I mean, I would just eat the fucking LaJoie chalk, and if he dies, he dies. Like, it doesn't matter. I would just play LaJoie. Why do you think Bell is lagging so far behind Truex and Hamlin? I don't know why exactly. I don't think I can answer that question. All I know is that he is, for whatever reason. He just is so far this year. That's on Cindric as last man in. Oh yeah, so we didn't necessarily talk about Cindric. So yeah, so at this point, you know, let's look at Cindric here. Because my argument, which I kind of I totally forgot about Cindric because I just started talking about LaJoie so much. So when you're building lines, let me just blow through some of this stuff so we can get an example going here. So where I'm at is I would honestly prefer Cindric for the most part. Now, I don't give a shit about 35 or 30 lap runs because, yes, it's important, but, you know, we have half the field run it. You need to have it. You need to make sure you're looking at it in context to everybody else. But I see nothing. I mean, this is, you know, you don't fake this type of speed, okay? So off the trailer, he's good. We're seeing that Penske as a whole is decent. So it isn't just a fluke, as we've seen, you know, a couple last weeks. We've seen like Logano be fast, and all the other guys be kind of dog shit and stuff. Now, I'm not playing Blaney and stuff. I don't see him winning the race, but we're certainly seeing Cindric having speed. Now, yes, finishing 31st last weekend, unfortunate. 26 at Dover. That's where we have to be concerned about that. You know, these are, you know, like, Cindric has been pretty terrible this year. He has been really, really bad. But when we put in the context of looking at the 5K range, okay, in a situation where you might need two 5K guys, you're looking to get different off of LaJoie, I would honestly look at LaJoie as your primary guy you want to chase in the back of the field, Gillen and Cindric as the only people in the 5K range that I would play today. And that is what I'm going to do. I don't foresee myself getting to Gregson. I don't foresee myself getting to Newman. I don't foresee myself playing Burton. So Cindric, Gillen, and LaJoie, in my opinion, should be the only guys you play in the 5K range today. And it's because I think those three individuals have a higher upside than everybody else in that range. And at that point, you're just trying to get the guy who's going to score the most. And Cindric is probably the biggest boom or bust play of the slate, and relative to his probably lowish ownership. Or although people might be looking at this because people do look at this stuff more than actual lap by lap data, so he might end up being higher owned, whatever the case may be. All right, so let's go through here. Yeah, so yeah, Mark, I don't have a specific reason of why Bell is lagging behind. I just, you know, we can all see that he is for whatever reason. We haven't even talked about lap leaders yet, so let me kind of get through these chats, and I'll talk about where else I want to go today. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to not play LaJoie. I can't think of any news, Alex. He had speed at Kansas. He's going to have a fire in here. Okay, that means that's just fucking stupid. That's just a fucking dumb reason. Like, I mean, the punching stuff. Like, yeah, he had speed at Kansas. Him get, like, if anything, that just means he's going to be a bigger bitch when Ross comes around to lap his ass. His teammate won the race last year. Normally I would. I agree with the wall riding track, but you can't fucking wall ride with this car. You can't. You breathe on this car in a weird way, and your day's done. If you look at the race last year, the leaders never even touched the wall. You couldn't get under the wall. You couldn't get there. You have to run off the wall. So that's where I'm at. Would you play 2 of Yes, John. That's perfectly fine. All right, so let's go ahead and thank you for the 90 of you people here watching this and everything. So let's go through and talk about. We're gonna leave this up on here as I go through and talk about these other drivers. So up top, we've identified LaJoie, Cindric, Gillen, using one of those guys, using 2 of those guys, whatever the case you want to do. In terms of lap leaders, in terms of who is leading this race, who is going to compete for the win, I cannot stress enough. Do you know how wildly improbable it was last weekend that Larson and Byron both came through the field, both came through entirely gigantic, enormous setbacks to finish in the top 5? That does not happen unless you have speed. Yes, Byron was in the right place at the right time for the waiver rounds, but you know how you get there? You have the fastest car of the people who are slow. You're taking risk. You're understanding what you have to do to put yourself in a position to get back in contention to win a race. I don't know what else to tell people. I can't think of a bigger data point than last weekend to tell people to keep playing Larson, to keep playing Byron. But Larson, Byron, Truex today are your priorities. Okay? The secondary priorities after those individuals, and you can argue Chase Elliott can fit into this based on the speed that we are showing here. This is Chase Elliott's, one of his better tracks. Similar to LaJoie, ran into problems in qualifying, this bullshit qualifying procedure, and is starting 20th or 21st. However, because this race is 293 laps. Yes, that place differential is huge. That's baked into his finishing position. We're going to see Chase Elliott finish in the top 10 for sure. Just depends on what he can do on pit lane to get up to the front past that. But at this point, he is very similar to a normal lap leader, okay? So your primary guys you're chasing is Truex, Byron, and Larson. Your secondary being Chase Elliott, Denny Hamlin, and Bubba Wallace. Okay? All right? I said it last night in the Discord. I was like, Jesus fucking Christ. I am projecting Bubba Wallace to be a potential lap leader today. To be a potential guy that I'm going to probably be overweight on, and then the fucker is probably going to put himself in the wall and ruin the day. Ruin my life. But when we look at Bubba Wallace, a lot of good things coming in. Really, really fast car at Kansas. Pretty decent car. Got through the field. Got through dirty air at Dover, which is huge. The race went green. It was very hard to get into the top 10, but the fact that Bubba Wallace was still able to get through the field is really, really good to see. Okay, 3 fast laps at Dover, good to see. I understand Dover's 400 laps. It's difficult to scrape the fast laps away from the people who are actually in laps like that. 3 laps is pretty significant. When we look at Kansas last weekend, 15 fast laps, significant. Okay, now 9 laps led. That happens if you get out there cycle. But whatever the case may be, look, Bubba Wallace has a lot of good things pointing at him entering this race. His pricing, for one, is huge. Even if you don't think Bubba Wallace leads laps or gets a ton of fast laps in this race, he is most likely paying off that $8,600 price tag, okay? You can argue that it's based off of people not being able to pass, which we're going to see, track position is going to be huge. But when, that's just based on last weekend and similar races. When we look at how he's doing here, You know, so what would that be? Fourth. Let me move this over. Sorry, I got my camera in the way. What is that? I mean, this is actually important. Like the AJ, you look, some bitch only runs 10, 13 laps. Of course, it's going to have a high average. You know, Byron stops running, you know, around 20 laps in. Of course, it's going to have a high average. But when you look at Bubba Wallace, 25 laps. Like, that is a decent chunk of change. Like, yeah, sure. You know, we're seeing him get to 156s, 157s and stuff, and that's why he pitted. You know, they probably saw that they were probably hitting the tire degradation zone a little bit sooner than they wanted to. But this number isn't fake, okay? Probably gets pushed down to like 159 if he runs, you know, 30 laps, but he's still, just on averages alone, top 10. You know, and then we look at the runs. Like, this is not fake speed. You know, like, this is not some, you know... Bubba Wallace is fucking... He's in play today. Okay? And I would honestly suggest if you are in the 8K range, it is him or Kevin Harvick. Keselowski will need help. I find it hard to believe that Keselowski... He won't destroy the lineup, but... in the 8K range, there's two drivers, and it's Kevin Harvick and Bubba Wallace. And boy, you better believe I'm about to easily put money on Bubba Wallace today. Like, Bubba is legit there. You know, we are seeing that 2311 has been fast in general. They're making improvements. Toyota's making improvements as well. Bubba's there. I hate to say it. I really do. Bubba Wallace is there. So... when you're looking at people to play, people that are going to chase, let's talk about lap leaders specifically. Truex, Bubba Wallace, William Byron, Larson, Hamlin, Chase Elliott, and then Ross Chastain. Those are your guys. Those, excuse me, those drivers I just mentioned. You should try and get as many of those guys in your lineups as possible. And the fact that Bubba Wallace is $8,600 or in the 8K range makes it easy to get 3, if not 4 of those guys. Like, realistically talking here, let me just throw something together real fast just so I could see. Also, man, like, shout out to fucking Byron being 10-3. I don't understand why he's so fucking cheap. I don't understand it at all. So, like... yeah, dude. It actually need to. I'm gonna write that line down. I was just throwing shit together, but I was like, yeah, dude, that's a pretty decent fucking lineup right there, dude. I don't, you know, it's very rare that I just throw something together for example, and I'm like, yeah, dude, I'll enter that after the show's over. But like, look, man, how do you get 4 of those guys in your lineup? You know, put Byron. Do this right now, everybody. You know, pull up your little DraftKings app, whatever the case may be. We're not giving you a full line, but we're giving you an example here. Byron, Bubba Wallace, Truex. Like, easy to get 4 drivers in this lineup that have a potential lead laps. I mean, if you're not building that way, I don't know what you're doing. It makes no sense at all. Like, why specifically are we going to fuck around with Logano? Why are we going to goof around with Blaney? Why are we playing Josh Berry? Why are we getting to Ty Gibbs today? You know, you're physically not able to if you're building like a 3 to 4 lap leader type of lineup. Okay, like, I mean, that's it, boys. That's it, man. We're chasing these drivers here. Let me see. Starting positions. We are chasing these drivers here. Like, if you're not chasing these guys, if you're not getting 3 to 4 of these guys in a lineup, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what we're doing here. Even if you're not getting 4, getting 3 is really easily. You're getting 3 very decent boys really fast, really good. I mean, That's how you got to build. And then you just hope that those 3 guys that you end up having in that lineup are the guys who end up leading. That's why you want to mix and match and stuff. That's why here at this point, I'll probably cap my Larson, Byron, Truex ownership. I probably like it 60%, so that's 8 or 9 of my 14 lineups. So I'll just mix and match from there. But I'll just run the fucking same build. That's why I like LaJoie. I might just say fuck it and do 100 LaJoie and just build off of that build. That's kind of where I'm at there. All right, so let me go through and check up on the stream. 180 you guys here on Mother's Day. Thank you very much for being here. Join me if you like the work that I do. If you want to support me in any way, there's a PayPal link in the description below that you can always donate to. If you have a good week or you have a good day or you just want to send like anything, you can also join the Patreon below. That's just direct support for everything I do on the channel, these live shows, talking to people. You can join a Discord. You can get my own personal projections, all that type of stuff. It's more so just support in general, like $25 a month, not breaking the bank or anything. And I talk to you a lot more than the big sites do. So if you want to support me through that, you can. Let me see. Am I fading Jones? I don't see a reason to get to Jones. What I got Jones projected for today. Now you got to remember that he won because a lot of big boys wrecked. In the fall, did he win in the spring or the fall? Doesn't necessarily matter. It was good to see, and Eric had speed last year. Look, legacy is. I mean, tanking isn't the word because you can't tank in NASCAR, but that is a fucking sinking ship. Everything Jimmy Johnson has touched as of late has been a fucking disaster, man. The fact that they're going Toyota, I mean, you know what Chevy does when you're like, oh, what's that? You're gonna go to a rival manufacturer? Fuck you, man. You're getting table scraps. You ain't getting shit. That's why I was shocked Gregson ran so well last weekend. That's why I couldn't believe it. I got Jones projected for 32 points today. I'm giving Eric Jones a 19th place finish. That's where I have Eric Jones today. So I'm just not getting to him. What's going on, Big Rip? Happy to have you here. Big time tire wear track here. Also, let's talk about it real fast. Dover, high wear racetrack. Kansas, high wear racetrack. Darlington, high wear racetrack. I mean, we don't have Auto Club anymore, but every track is a high wear racetrack now. Las Vegas wears the tires incredibly fast. So, if anything, that makes it even easier. Like, you don't have to go out of your way to be like, how do these guys do it at high wear racetrack? Just how have they done as of late? How have they done this year? Yes, Darlington has the highest of that fall off, but Las Vegas has a second and 8/10 fall off. Kansas has fall off. That's why it's so important of what you do with tires last weekend. Like, every track is high wear now. We're at that point to where we don't have to be different. Like, you know what track isn't high wear? It's Charlotte. Okay, that's just how it is. Charlotte's still the most perfect track so far that we have here. But like a high wear racetrack, I think that talk is kind of no longer as important because everywhere is a high wear racetrack now. That's just how it is. And I'm not trying to just absolutely crap all over you, Jake. I'm just commenting on whatever I'm seeing here. It just happens to be your comments. I'm sorry. If Bubba don't get up there and lead, those down points is going to get... what? So, look, here's the deal. That's why I went over what he's been doing as of late. Like, fuck him leading. Fuck him having fucking talent. Wallace got 15 fast laps last weekend. You don't just stumble into that. 3 at Dover, you don't just stumble into that. Okay? Like, he's had fast laps at every intermediate track this year, and that's significant. Even when you're, especially after where he's running, like that's significant. If you start seeing drivers that scrape off, like, 3 to 7 fast laps in a race, like, there's something there. Okay? At some point, he's getting those and stuff. So It's not even like, oh man, why do you got Bubba Wallace projected for like 87 laps led, which I don't today, but like it's not even that. It's about putting yourself in position to be there, and he has a great pit stall. We haven't even talked about pit stall selection. That's all baked into the projections as well. Oh, who has good pit stalls? It's all the people starting up front. It's Truex, Bubba Wallace, Byron, Chastain, Larson, Hamlin. How are these guys getting to lead? How are these guys maintaining track position? Byron, number one pit stall last weekend, okay? Look, pit stalls, you cannot forgo, throw away the pit stalls. All this stuff is baked in the projections. Well, Bubba Wallace has a good pit stall as well. A lot of things there. Let's see. I'm sorry, Anthony. I'm probably, moving over here, moving over there. I get excited. I get boring. I'm sorry about that. At least you commented. Happy to see you once. You can tell me you can tell me just kill myself if you just won. It's way easier than being like, come on, man, because I've never seen it before, so I don't know. Ryan Preece, I'm not fucking playing that fucking dog shit piece of shit Stuart Haas car. Like, you talk about dog shit, talk about slow as molasses. I mean, this is horrendous lap times compared to the field. Horrendous. Then you look back at where he's ran these last 2 weeks. 27 last weekend, pretty slow. Finishes 17th at Dover. We can't absolutely forget that. But I mean, this is just not there, man. This is just not there. It's my main concern with Eric Almirola as well. Eric is very, very slow in general. Here, it's a shame that he starts a little bit higher up. But man, this is rough, dude. I mean, this is huge. When you get these guys up here running 63 4s or 64, 65, 66s, we ain't even there. And then we're still this slow as well. Like, we are significantly slower than these. I mean, look at these 158s, 157s, 156s, 155s, 153. Oh man. I mean, he may have been in traffic here, but this is still not good to see. So there's certainly concern with Eric Almirola and Ryan Preece and stuff like that today. Thank you very much for the $5 super chat, Ryan. I do appreciate it. Thank you very much for the support. It's been a while since we've had a super chat. I think it's been like 2 weeks now. We used to get them all the time, so we have to be grateful for Ryan, everybody else supporting me and stuff like that. That's why I always say thank you, because I'm just assuming everybody's gonna leave like the next day. Like, nobody's ever gonna watch my shit again. So thank you very much for being here, everybody. When I think about McDowell, I'm seeing a lot of new names in here as well. So thank you very much for coming out and stuff and being here. We're gonna primarily stay on this moving forward. So when we look at McDowell, I mean this is what's worrying, and this is which. Sorry, I'm thinking a lot of things here. So looking back, let's look at the last 2 weeks here. 26th, 22nd. When you look at this incredibly fast short run car, and then just tanks, falls off a cliff on 10, 15. That's why they pitted, because he was like, hey, street name Son of God. I need you to come down this pit lane, my guy. We're pretty slow. We got to make some adjustments here. So that's concerning that's certainly concerning with McDowell. Chastain should. I mean, I mentioned him in the 6 main guys that I talk about leading laps. Chastain's going to be there. He has a top 5 car. He is absolutely going to be there at some point today. You're going to want some Chastain. Similar to last week. Or was it Dover? I don't remember. Chastain will always probably be my least interested guy, but I'm still probably going to have at least 4 lineups with him. But I believe that this speed is significant enough to where you wanna have some Chastain, and he's got a pit stall. A lot of things there. Like pits, you can gain a lot of spots in pit lane. Like that is huge. You absolutely need to play guys who have good pit stalls, and Chastain yet again has all that stuff. Yeah, yeah, and I don't mean it in any will or any ill will or any ill way, Jake. I just haven't realized. I was like, dude, I'm just shitting on Jake left and right. I'm not trying to. Chastain Suarez, same line. So for me, would be a no because you are going against how I would build. If you're using Chastain and Suarez in the same lineup, I mean, that's certainly going to be different. But you absolutely need those three guys to lead, and we have seen reasons to be cautious as of late. Now, like Suarez blows a tire and hits the wall at Dover. I still don't know why people were like, yeah, he just got loose. I don't know why the broadcast was like, Suarez just got loose out of 4 at Dover. No, he didn't, guys. He clearly had a mechanical failure. But, you know, right around like an 11th to 13th fastest car at Kansas, that's like when you're paying for somebody who needs to maintain the running position. You see this here, like I think Suarez is going to be beat in the short term. So Darlington is very. Let's talk about runs at Darlington. And if you remember back, Chastain, was it last year? Maybe the year before. No, I think he wasn't with Trackhouse. I think he was still with Ganassi. I think it was stage 2. They kept him out and ran the entire stage 3 or the entirety of stage 2 without pitting, and he got lapped and put a lap down like with 3 to go on the stage or whatever. Anyway, the reason I'm bringing that up is because your runs here at Darlington are the tale of two stories specifically. Like if you have an incredibly slow car right off the bat, like 5, 10, 15 lap runs, there's a real chance that you can't gain that spot. You can't gain that time back, even if you have an incredibly good long run car. Suarez here being this slow in the short term is concerning because that means that he is going to be most likely getting past at least 3 to 4 to 5 positions within the first 14 laps of the start of the race, of the run. So I would be concerned about Suarez today. So answering your question, I would not play Suarez and Chastain together, and I probably wouldn't play Chastain in general today. But that's where we're at here. Let's see. Don't ask me about Prize Picks, dude. I'm gonna lose you so much fucking money on Prize Picks. That's my advice. Don't talk to me. Don't. That's not even me. I mean, maybe I like Prize Picks for like other sports and esports, but like, dude, my prop betting is fucking dog shit. I have such a DFS brain. I have just learned. I'm not even fucking wasting time looking at Prize Picks. So don't ask me fucking Prize Picks questions, man. I will probably. I don't. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe they do want to sponsor me because I will absolutely make them money because I'll be giving horrible fucking picks left and right. Let's see. What's going on, Thomas? No problem. Thank you. I'm glad that you're happy for the content. So, AJ, and okay, so yeah, AJ in a bit of a pickle situation here. Right against Ryan Preece in terms of pricing in the 6K range, which is kind of difficult to get there. But we have seen really good speed out of the colleague cars as of late. Okay. They've been real. They've been qualifying terrible. They've switched it now, which is what we would prefer. They used to be incredible, single car speed organization, terrible in traffic. They've switched it to where they're not too concerned about single car speed. They're really good in traffic. We're seeing that, like, look, Justin Haley, 23rd at Dover, 18th at Kansas last weekend. AJ Allmendinger in a very similar situation, qualifying in very similar ranges and times. 18th at Dover, 14th at Kansas. We're seeing that AJ here, quickly ran into an issue. Was like, look, we got some major problems here. So they went in and they looked at stuff. So this is the concern with AJ. The fact that they lost, because you only get a 20-minute session, they went in the pits twice here. He quickly saw something that he didn't like. I don't know if he got on the wall here, whatever the case may be. AJ, we do not have long-term data to go off of, okay? We can only speculate at this point. When we're looking at his lap speeds here specifically, now he may have, not flat spotted, but may have, worn down the tire entering pit lane, may have, the heat cycle didn't adjust correctly. It hindered his lap speeds once he got back out on the track. Maybe the track was warmer when he got back out after he pitted, whatever the case may be. But this drop-off is pretty significant between his second lap. He went to pit lane, comes back out, takes the green. It's consistent. We're seeing consistent 61s, but that's a pretty significant drop-off in terms of speed. We don't necessarily see that from other drivers, okay? So that's kind of the first concern. Secondly, we don't have the long speed data. So we can look at Justin Haley and how he did, which is, I got to move this. So he stays out, runs pretty decently. The average is concerning because there's a lot of people who ran a lot of laps, and Haley's concerned on speed. Same thing here. This is concerning. I mean, you're off the pace here. Split. I hate whenever somebody's like, he's not off the pace. He's, that's a pretty decent car. We're, look, realizing this stuff. This is a concerned amount of time lost. Okay. The fact that AJ and Haley have been pretty identical in terms of speed, in terms of upside, in terms of qualifying and finishing speed, finishing order, rating rank, I have to assume that they are not going to, one of these cars is not going to be significantly faster than the other one. I'm going to assume that they run similar. Now, AJ has been running better as of late. When we look at how I have these guys projected for, I have Justin Haley projected to finish 22nd today. I have AJ Allmendinger projected to finish 21st today. Okay? So I have them finishing similar. I'm giving AJ his place differential stuff, but this type of speed out of AJ might lead us to a situation where he gets stuck a lap down outside the top 20. That's my case. That's my opinion. That's where I'm at with AJ Allmendinger. Hope that answers the question. Let's see. Thoughts on Bell? Just probably won't have it there. The pit stall. I don't think the pit stall saved him. It was certainly him getting the laps back. It was certainly him getting the laps back in the speed. If anything, and it was his short run speed as well. Like deep in the race, he finishes fourth or third? Maybe he finishes fifth. I know he gets passed late. But there was other thing that saved him instead of just the pit stall. What's going on, Big? I probably won't have any Reddick. That's just where I'm at. I like other guys more. And if we miss on Reddick, we miss on Reddick. Let's see. I answered the AJ question there. Yo, what's going on, Kay? It's been a while since I've seen you, my guy. Happy to have you back. Right when you were giving Wallace his props just 2 years ago, you were saying that he was going to get fired. Yeah. Man, dude. Has Bubba Wallace even won a race? Name one race, Kay. Name one race that Bubba Wallace has even won. Has he even won a race? It's a shame that Cody Ware got arrested because I remember saying that Rick Ware was going to get a win before Bubba Wallace. And so far it's still 0-0. Neither team has won a race. Let's see. LaJoie, it's LaJoie, Cindric, and Gillen. What's going on, BVP? I saw you in some contests yesterday, doing pretty decent. I know a lot of things happened in that race, but you were looking pretty good for a while. I think you were competing with me for a bit. Short tangent, not going to stay on this too long. That short $10 contest I mentioned yesterday that paid out correctly, we were going to win that by a country mile. And we were going to compete to win the 4, and then fucking Joe Graff Jr. ass packs the guy on the last restart. Oh man, that was tilting. That was a $1,500 swing. Joe Graff Jr. plowing the rear end of Chad Chastain yesterday. But yeah, it has been a while. Thank you very much, BVP, for being here and supporting me. And look, $50 is nothing to shake a stick at. Like that is significant money. Thank you very much. You know, everybody else here, like that's a lot of money just to be giving out to some streamer dude. I do appreciate that. Let's see. I'm seeing Dinger with a lot of green on your sheet. That's man, that's short run stuff. Because I do not have him green in projection wise. This is I'm not sure who you're. Either way, when we look at Byron, a lot of green here. And he just ends up pitting. Like this speed is, we talk about this a lot. You can go back and listen to it on 2X real fast. But this is significant. Just came down to make a change. We can very easily use context clues and assume, based on recent races, based on practice data, that he would still probably be anywhere from 3rd to 6th on 25 lap runs. What's going on, Alex? For the aggressive progressive claps, we have every shade of human imaginable from your comments. Thank you very much. You went heavy on fast laps that one day on Prize Picks. I mean, it's not even that. That's bullshit too. That Talladega race is that's bullshit, man. You're telling me these fucking guys can't get 3 fast laps? Fucking Talladega race. I'm done. Look. You gotta just be honest sometimes when you're look. I like League of Legends. I like esports. I like showdown contests. You know what I don't like? I don't like losing money on Prize Picks, so I'm not fucking around with that anymore. Who do I like winning the race today? I like Truex, Bubba Wallace, Larson, Byron, Hamlin. It'll probably be those guys there. Who is Sam Hunt racing and why is Reddick racing for them today? That's is that DraftKings giving you propaganda? Yep, that's DraftKings and their interns just not doing enough. He's with 2311. Don't worry. Carl Busch, that's funny. Kansas now are just. Oh, these are Bubba Wallace's. I don't know. Look, no, yeah. Kurt Busch won Kansas. All right, then he got a concussion. Bubba Wallace has never won a race at Talladega. Okay, you might be mistaking Bubba Wallace winning at Talladega as a legitimate event. Just kidding. Yeah. He has like fucking 6 wins in the truck. I just like shitting on Bubba Wallace. It's so easy. It's so funny. People get so tilted. People get so mad. And they think I'm racist. Let's see. Haley or Almirola. Oh, man. Oh, that's disgusting. Those guys are gross. Probably Eric Almirola. I would probably... And so here's Eric Almirola. We haven't talked about him really, nor is he a real consideration and stuff, but like I got Eric Almirola finishing 15th today. That's like, man, and that's mainly due to him having a pit stall that can gain him some spots in the race if he's still in the lead lap. Man, I don't think he hits value today. And normally I'm trying not to be as anal about 5x value, but like there's a real chance he doesn't score over 30 points today. Like Eric Almirola could very easily score 29 points and kind of kill your lineup because you're paying more money than like you need him to score well at that price range, and that can keep you from winning. That's where I'm at there. Let's see. Yeah, win with an asterisk. That's funny. Yeah, Reddick is on the third string because his crew chief got ejected. Yet again, oh man, you know they'll put it out on Monday what they're cheating with and stuff like that. I'm not too concerned about that. Typically, all the work. I mean, it's not like that crew chief like can't tell them what to do. I'm sure they're on the phone or like on Skype or texting like, "Hey, dude, hey, crew chief." How do we lower the air pressure in a tire? Like, you know, they're staying in constant communication with these guys. 130 you guys here on Mother's Day Sunday. Thank you very much for being here. Yeah, I mean, they had issues, and NASCAR saw something they did not like, so they kicked his ass out. McDowell or Austin Dillon? What lineups are you guys fucking building? Where you're even getting to these questions? I have, dude. I've been goofing around with lines like all last night and today. I've never stumbled upon. Gee Willikers, Batman. Do I put Austin Dillon or Michael McDowell in this lineup to finish it out? I am not running into that at all. So let me answer that. I got Dillon projected to finish 22nd. I got Michael McDowell projected to finish 22nd. So that's where we're at there. Yeah, no. Yeah. It's very. I got you, Wes. I got you. I don't know why I'm not trying to come off as super like confrontational today. It just ended up it's coming off like that. So I apologize for that. Hey, dog. Happy to have you here. Glad that you wanted to come in, try it out, see what it's like. You can go back and listen on 2X and as because I break down everything here. Like, and I'm not like, let's remember if you join BetMGM, and use the code I'm a fucking shill, you get $50 on your first deposit, even though everybody already has an account and you've already done your first deposit. Like, I'm not wasting time with that stuff. Yeah, I'm glad that you like it. Hope you keep showing up. I'm live for every single NASCAR race, Truck, Xfinity, Cup Series, stuff like that. Thoughts on Barry and Busch, Kyle Busch. There are some things that would point to Kyle possibly being in contention today. This speed is this speed is there. He won Fontana. We've seen them come back and have, man, he's had way better speed than where he's finished in both these races. The fact that he won Fontana, that is significant. I'll probably have Kyle Busch like 2 lines and stuff, but he is certainly not a priority here. Yes, Kay, I already told my mother happy birthday. Not happy birthday. Happy Mother's Day. So we got that covered. I low-key with Buescher because of 10-lap average. Yeah, man, it's a tough one. Buescher, Keselowski, these guys can certainly be there, but this is scary. This is pretty big fall off. And relative to this and compared to where he started and the people he's racing around, that makes it difficult for Buescher to really push himself in the top 10. I would absolutely not. This is what you want to focus on. This data point doesn't even exist. You want to use 20 lap, 25 lap, 30. That's what I would suggest. I know, Wes, dude. I'm all tensed up, man. I need to get a release in or something. I don't know. It's pretty nuts. Let's see. What else? Oh, thank you, Big, for the kind shout out and stuff. All right, I think we're going to let's see what other questions we got. I think I've talked about everything. I talked about the builds that I want to run with. I talked about the value range that I want to run with. I think I made pretty significant cases for everything on FanDuel. It's really the same approach. And like I said, I'm playing FanDuel today, but it's really the same guys. I would absolutely just focus on people who have been fast here and stuff. I think that's really about it. Let me see. Oh, thank you, Kate. Yeah, I don't talk about that stuff too significantly because I really like on my Twitter and stuff. I just like sharing memes and shit and liking weird VTuber shit and stuff. But I very rarely ever actually I don't know. It's been years. Maybe when I first started when I was with DFS Tavern and stuff. But I nearly never ever post shit related to winning or any DFS stuff. I'm kind of just like goofing around stuff on Twitter. But yeah, I've helped win people money. I've won a lot of money, gotten really lucky, gotten unlucky. You know, it happens. Everybody in this space has won a lot of money, has lost a lot of money, has had good breaks, bad breaks. I think that's whether you're a content creator, whether you're somebody who just plays this stuff. I think we've all done that cycle and stuff before. So I think kind of just staying on that, being like, look guys, I won this day. Look guys, I did this day. I don't know. It gets kind of stale and kind of ashholes and stuff. Would you be separating data between Group A and Group? I used to, but look, I use so many data points. The practice. I mean, this is on your screen here. Yes, I pull the laps, but I use so many different points. I don't really bother separating the two sessions. I'm just actively aware of, because I watch practice and stuff. Like I'm actively aware of what group is faster, and I put that in, like I have that in my mind and stuff. But I use so many different data points that I don't necessarily feel like, and I mean, it's mainly just me goofing around here. It's not like I give this sheet out to people. It's just, I mean, it's on the screen and stuff. But I don't feel the need to go through and be like, okay, let's see, let's highlight every driver in Group A and Group B. Like I'm already aware of who was in those and things. So I personally don't do that, but I am aware of some of that stuff. Yeah, Eagles, best of luck today. Very quickly before we head off, Ryan L., thank you very much for the $5 super chat and the support. BVP09, thank you very much for the continuous support through all of these live shows that you've donated or that you've put a super chat on. Hopefully you have a good day yourself. I've seen you up there quite a lot recently. Anybody else in here who's part of the Discord, Patreon, ASC, Sterling, SRT41, Andrew, everybody here who's always watching my stuff, best of luck today. Have a good Mother's Day if you are a mother in here, or if you have a mother, which everybody does, unless she's dead, which big rip, sorry about that. But yeah, best of luck guys. I'll see you on some preview videos for the All-Star race this weekend. So I'll see you guys then. Best of luck today. Peace out.